Hello, everybody. Welcome back to... I need to stop the music so that it stops playing two musics at the same time, or I will lose my mind. It's time for Paper Perjury once again. I only vaguely remember what we were doing, because I keep on only playing this game like once a month. There's gotta be like a... There's like a load option, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. April 24th, 4:30 p.m., Azure City Police Precinct Number 5 viewing room. I took the opportunity on the way here to reorganize some of my notes. Hey, Detective Hunt? Yes, Miss Assistant. Are you sure about this? I'm worried about you. Bill's your friend. You shouldn't be here. I appreciate the concern, but I have a job to do. That comes first. I won't let our friendship get in the way of finding the truth. Don't worry, you're a real interrogation room veteran at this point. We'll solve this together. Red? Sue just told me what's going on. Are you seriously going through with this? I am. Red, he's your best friend. He is, but I knew what I was doing when I signed up for this job. This case isn't just about Bill. Eubank Investments is involved too. If I don't do it, no one will. I have to see this through to the end. Red, let me handle this. I can question him. Sophie, I admire your tenacity, but you haven't handled an interrogation before. I don't think you're ready. Actually, sir, I think she is ready. All this time, she has been proving herself. Without her, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't have solved the Lear case without her. Not to mention, she could have just taken the easy route and arrested Doughboy, but she didn't. She knew he didn't do it. And she was the key to figuring out Bill's involvement in the first place. Let her have this, sir. It's time for you to step back. Justy. Besides, I'm a real interrogation room veteran, remember? I'll be there too. Ha! Guess I've been outvoted. Never thought I'd see my own assistant tell me to step back. Alright, fine. The room is yours. I'm counting on you two. I won't let you down, Red. Justy, did you really mean all of that? Of course I did. You're a phenomenal detective, Sophie. You just need a chance to shine. It'll be an honor to conduct this interrogation with you. All right, then. Let's go. Right behind you, Detective. Fucking, I forgot both of them are here for some reason. I think we might need a bigger room. The legal capacity of a room this size is 6 people. You're more than welcome to leave. Tempting, but I want to see this case to the end. How about we get started? Let's see. Interrogation Basics Step 1, Confrontation. The detective confronts the superior directly. Mr. Klaus, we have evidence that shows you've been embezzling charity money meant for the orphanage. What kind of evidence? We found proof that 25,000 alms fundraised by the Klaus charity were redirected to a shell corporation, BG Turtles LLC. According to Anton Chambers, Bill owns BG Turtles and he requested the transfer. I swear I didn't do anything wrong. Well, my client does own the company. He hasn't broken any laws. That money doesn't belong to him. How can you possibly defend that? Hang on, Justy. I haven't gotten to Step 2 yet. Step 2, establishing a motive. The detective tries to determine the motive for the suspect's actions. I know your job isn't the highest paying, but stealing money from children is wrong. I would never steal from the children. Then I'd like for you to explain why you had the money transferred, Mr. Klaus. Go ahead, Bill, just like we talked about. Gods, please get us to Step 3. Interrogation. Bill Klaus's statement, the transferred money. All the money that was sent to BG Turtles was used to cover costs incurred by the orphanage, which I had paid for out of pocket. It was a way to quickly pay myself back while I waited for the full donation to arrive. Bill's pretty good at the whole accounting thing, you know. He paid the orphanage's rent from his own account and then came up with BG Turtles' idea to cover it. As the transaction was used to cover the orphanage's own costs, nothing criminal was done here. Release my client immediately. Hey, Sophie, is that true? Is it really legal to loan yourself money like that? It's a bit unorthodox, but I suppose there's nothing criminal about it. Is it possible we overreacted? Maybe this was all okay. No, the way he acted at the orphanages, he's hiding something. Someone must have slipped up with their story somewhere. I'll just have to strike at the right time. Pay myself out. Bill's pretty good at calling. He paid the orphanage's rent from his own account, then came up with BG's Carol's idea. Question. To your knowledge, has Bill ever done that before? If you pick a card, I'll tell you. This is a police interrogation. You have to answer the question. On the contrary, neither party here is obligated to answer your questions. Yeah, what she said. Bringing Annie here was a bad idea. Alright, let's see here. Aha! The numbers don't. Dispute, the financial ledger, I believe. Actually, Mr. Klaus, that can't be true. According to your own records, your expenses last month didn't exceed 15,000 alms. Obviously, I used the money to pay for the rent as well. That ledger only covers our other expenses. Where did you get that anyways? So you're claiming you used it on rent money, got it. Fine then, Mr. Klaus, let's return to your statement. There's gotta be a problem with that explanation. Used to cover the cost incurred by the orphanage and what I had paid out of pocket. Alright, let me read the rest of this. Money was paid from the orphanage's account. Oh, yeah, okay, that's what it was. Sorry to say, but that's a lie. And this evidence proves it. Well. Is that all? What do you mean, is that all? I don't know how to tell you this, Justy, but I don't think that proves anything. Oh, well, I must just be thinking too. Let me try again. Oh, wait, that was pretty good. He paid the orphanage's rent from his own account. Yeah, that's not true, though. We know it isn't true, because we have the thing where it says it was paid from the orphanage's account. There it is. Unfortunately, Annie, that's not true. According to your own statements earlier today, the orphanage has always made rent payments from its own account. Annie doesn't know what she's talking about. Look, the expenses got a bit mixed up, and I thought you were a pro at this whole accounting thing. Annie, when they asked Bill to testify, they meant only him. I didn't do anything wrong. She's the one with the evidence. Detective Swift, I request that Annie Card be removed immediately. Sorry, but she's a key witness in this case. I'm gonna keep her here. Please, for the love of the gods, Annie, don't speak unless you're spoken to. Look, I get it. I'll stay quiet. If you pick a card. Back on the topic at hand, if you didn't use the money to cover your rent, what could you possibly need it for? What do you have to say for yourself? No, wait, no, that's too mean. This is all a misunderstanding. The money was used for a completely different purpose. And what purpose is that? I'll clear this whole thing up. Let me explain. Bill Klaus's statement, the money's purpose. All the money I had transferred was used to cover our maintenance expenses for the past month. There was a storm that moved through last month that caused a lot of damage to the property. We weren't expecting the increased cost, and I needed to have the repairs done quickly. Therefore, I had no choice but to cover the cost myself, then pay myself back through BG Turtles. So that's his story now. Convenient how he only tells us this now. There's no way I can disprove his claims about the storm damage. However, there's no way this is the full story. Something about his explanation must not line up with the facts. If I follow the money, I'm sure to find a problem somewhere. Question. Why did you not just wait until after the fund raid money was transferred? I'm the director for an orphanage and I only take a meager salary. I can't afford to spend money like that. I had bills I needed to pay. Then why not get a loan? What is wrong with you? Stop badgering my client. There was nothing wrong with his actions. Yeah, stop badgering him. Sorry. Money I transfer was used to cover our maintenance expenses for the past month. I think I might have something about that. When you step down. Use Klaus's chastity now. What? Unused car brakes. Noils. I forgot about Noil. None of this is money related, I don't think. Card 2 weeks ago. Cannot be evicted except for unpaid rent. I mean, that's probably going to end up being referenced. What you're saying is true. Why did you not mention this before? Financial information should only be discussed on a need-to-know basis. Disclosure of sensitive information will put not only the orphanage in trouble, but also the children as well. Think of the children. Yeah, think of the children. I suppose so. With a meeting with his landlady. Disputing his claim for damages on his car. Rent payments are on time. Orphanage's lease. Bill hired her to repair his car. Maybe? No. $25,000 just for maintenance? Isn't that a bit high? There's a lot that needed to be done, and the cost ballooned fast. I ended up asking a lot of Meg, and I was not going to let her work for free. What sort of costs? My client is under no obligation to list everything he paid for. If you want to litigate every expense, go ahead and get a warrant for it. Hey, detective, do you think we can get a warrant for that? In order to obtain a warrant, you'd have to present your case to a judge. You need to explain what you're searching for and provide a justification for its relevance. I don't think it's going to help us either way. I'll just depend on the evidence I already have, then. Money I had transferred was used to cover maintenance expenses for the past month. I'm not really sure. No, there it is. Sorry, Bill, but we already know all your expenses for the past month, including maintenance. The amount that was used this month is far below the missing 25,000 alms. How do you know that? I found the orphanage's ledger when I was searching your room. Hey, I never said you could look at that. Detective, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you can't use evidence that was obtained illegally. On the contrary, Bill told us directly that we could search his room. I shouldn't have to tell you this, Ferris, but you don't need a warrant when consent is given. Is this true, Bill? I didn't think they would... This is why you consult me first before you talk to them. No matter how we got it, the money couldn't be used to cover maintenance costs. There's a good reason for that. I gave the money directly to Meg. The money reimbursed her for the parts and labor she did. This doesn't make any sense. Something isn't adding up here. Any ideas, Detective? I think he's telling the truth, somewhat. I think the real question we should be asking is there some other reason Bill would need to be giving Meg money directly? Do I have evidence like that? Another reason Bill would be paying Meg money? That must be his fucking car, I assume. As it turns out, I know exactly why you were paying Meg money. She's been fixing your car for the past month. You had to pay her for the work she did. Well, that's quite the claim. My client has insurance. Why on earth would he need the charity money to make those repairs? Ah, that's easy. Let me show you. This is why Bill needed money from the charity to repair his car. They fucking rejected his insurance. Inside Bill's office, I found a letter from his insurance company. They disputed the damages on his car and denied his claim. I doubt Bill had the money on hand to pay for the repairs, especially with his meager salary. Therefore, I think you stole the charity money in order to pay for your repairs. Now, hold on just a second. My client did not steal even a single ohm of that money. And even if what you're saying is true, so what? His usage of the money was perfectly fine, as I will explain to you now. Rebuttal. An ironclad. I'll concede you one thing. My client did in fact repair his car with that money. However, the car was just as much the orphanage's car as his own. I used that car for everything. Without it, I'd be screwed. He considered the car repair a maintenance expense, and so he had some of the charity money transferred to cover it. You will find that it was perfectly above board. Now let my client go. Why did you not tell us this from the start? If Annie didn't open her mouth, he might have explained it. I'm just trying to help. If he really needed the money, why would he use a secret shell company? Think about it from that angle. There must be a reason. I think his car was... There's something about his car being, like, an expensive, like... Spare model or parts of it. That's not it. Nope. Yep, listen. Use that car for everything. There's a... Meg's car? No. Yeah, let me try again. Did in fact, however, car was much of the orphanage's car as his own. I used that car for everything. Without it, I'd be screwed. Love letter from Meg to Frying Oil. I don't know if I remember who Meg is. Oh, Meg is her. She's Meg. Without it, I'd be screwed. Use that car for everything. There's a second car, though. Right? Rent payments, card statement. Both parties have passed every audit. Okay, that's true. I'm not sure, because I know I can't present profiles in this. It's not helpful. That's not helpful. Let's see here. Bill left the meeting when the brakes on his car failed. Day of the accident, which was a while ago, as I recall. Claims she performed a magic trick. She then saw him running away right before the crash. Paid from the orphanage's account. The claims the rule, so the one long spell. That's not helpful. Charity money, unused car bank, Mr. Eubank statement. No. I'm really not sure. Car repair maintenance expense, so you had some of the charity money transferred to cover it. You will find that perfectly above board. Now let my client go. Was this plan really the only way to fix your car? It was the only method I could think of. Every other option would take too long or be impossible. I simply had no choice. When you lack the means to pay for yourself, you're willing to try anything. Anything applies both legal and illegal. I wonder. What about public transportation? You don't really need a car to get around in this city. Please, the public transportation here sucks. It's too unreliable. What's wrong with our public transit? Our bus system is great. If you miss a bus, you have to wait half an hour for another. And if the bus breaks down, then what? You're simply out of luck and have to walk. I prefer only depending on my own driving rather than leaving it to the wheels of fate. Well, he's right. I was late at my high school a few times because of the bus. How so? How do you think I pick up groceries and supplies for the children? How do you think I carry them around wherever they need to go? Doctor's appointments, sports games, dental visits. That car is absolutely vital to the orphanage. I suppose that makes sense? Continue. Why did you not just tell us any of this sooner? I considered the maintenance expense. It was, after all, maintenance on my car. We really did have a lot of storm damage. That's why I had to have the money transferred from BG Turtles. We simply didn't have enough funds to repair all of that and my car. If your insurance did cover the repairs, would you have set up BG Turtles? Of course not. I'd have no need for the money. Ironically, I almost got tricked into workers' compensation insurance when making it. What do you mean? Our country requires all businesses that have full-time or part-time employees to have insurance in case of on-site accidents. Bill is saying he almost paid for it despite BG Turtles not having any employees. You should know this, Justy. Did you not read all the paperwork you signed before you started working here? No, I just signed my soul away. I must have been really determined to go through all that. Not that. Not that. Not that. No. We're just gonna present every piece of evidence at this point, and we'll see how it goes. I'm really not sure... Because I can't just keep using the same shit over and over, like... This is the car maintenance expense. We had some of the money transferred to cover. You'll find that perfectly above board. Okay, I think maybe that's where I go for the... this? There it is. Ferris, it seems like you forgot what you told us earlier today. The charity money can only be used on anything directly related to the orphanage. It also cannot benefit somebody at either the charity or the orphanage directly. His car belongs to him, not the Klaus orphanage. That directly violates the national charity standards. The real purpose of BG Turtles was to hide the money so he wouldn't get caught in his next audit. I can't believe you, Bill. That money was raised for the kids, not your car. You win. I give up. Ferris, you did your best to help me, thank you. But there was nothing wrong with what I did. I used my car every day for those kids. When Rena was sick, I took her directly to the hospital in my car. When Lloyd wanted to visit his father and he missed the bus, I drove him to my car. That car was just as important to this orphanage as you and me. But the government would never see it that way. This was the only way. Ferris, you knew this, didn't you? I did what was best for my client. I've known him for years. He would give an arm and a leg for those kids. If he says it was necessary, I believe him. So that's why you defended him. Bill's a good man. I don't want his reputation ruined. Annie, you agree, right? I did before coming in here. What he did was wrong. I'm not going to defend his character anymore. Annie? No, she's right. It was wrong. No matter how I spin it, this was all done to fix my car. Detective Swift, I'm sorry for lying. Let me at least give my full confession. I think we skipped towards step 8, but if you're sure... The room is yours. Bill Klaus's confession, the full truth. I confess, I had Anton send this 25,000 alms to my own company, BG Turtles. By doing so, I was able to circumvent the law to avoid an audit. I swear that may have been my car, but it's the unsung hero of the orphanage. If only that kid hadn't loosened the brakes on your car. Then we wouldn't be in this mess at all. I guess the gods work in mysterious ways. He didn't. Annie, why are you saying the brakes were loosened? Everyone knows the brakes were the reason for the crash. Nobody ever reported how the brakes failed. In fact, Meg told the police recently that she had damaged the brake pad. So why did you say the brakes were loosened? Well, I just guessed. I don't think that was the case at all. In fact, the brakes were loosened. Wait, they were? Remember when I said the brake incident was bothering me? I looked back over the car with Meg and we discovered the brakes were loose. No one told me this. Are you saying Meg didn't cause the car crash? I don't think she did. The brake pad was damaged in the crash, but someone else clearly intended to cause the accident. Detective, you don't really think... Bill, we can finalize your confession later. Annie Card, you are hereby under arrest for the attempted murder of Bill Klaus. You don't have to speak to us, and you're free to have a lawyer present during your questions. But at this time, you are not free to leave. I guess I have a phone call to go make. April 24th, 5:24 p.m., Rasher City Police Precinct number 5 viewing room. I shouldn't have any need for the evidence related to the embezzlement anymore. I'll consolidate my evidence to just the accident case. Good work, you two. For a couple of first-timers, you did well. Excuse you, but I'm a third-timer. But really, Sophie deserves the credit. Without her, we'd have gotten nowhere. Oh, please. You were the one slamming the table. I just helped out. Guess you want your case back, Red? As much as I would love to jump back in, it's not my case. The car crash was always yours, Sophie. Go finish what you started. I can't do that. This case would have gone cold if not for you. You deserve this. Listen, Sophie, you need to learn that not every case you work on will be solved. Sometimes the evidence is destroyed, sometimes a lawyer will have it thrown out. In those cases, you just have to accept that life won't always have the answers. So when there's a chance to try again, take it. You might never get that chance again. Thank you, Ernest. Well, one case down, one more to go. Mind if I cut in? Detective Swift, I'd like to stay. If she really is the suspect, I want to give my side of the story. Certainly, whatever you can give. Thank you, Detective. And Ernest. You're the biggest idiot I know, Bill. Detective? But I know you don't have an evil bone in your body. We can talk later. For now, we have to wait for Annie's lawyer. I'm taking over Annie's case. You are? It's for the good of Eubank Investments. I'll need a moment to speak with her before the interrogation. This is going to be tricky. Bill, can you think of any reason Annie might try to harm you? Of course not. We've worked together for years. Besides, I was with her the whole day. She never had a chance to mess with my car. Is that so? Well, good luck, you two. You'll need it. Thanks. Gods, how does anyone expect me to solve 2 cases in 1 day? Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to... sorry, wrong page. This card, as we explained earlier, you are being held under arrest for aggravated assault and attempted murder. What do you have to say for yourself? My client denies any wrongdoing. After all, I think you are forgetting one important detail. You had a suspect the whole time, Fry Noyle. I was wondering about that. Bill, did you see anyone running away from the garage before you started driving? Well, no. Annie was the one who saw them. I did, and I can explain it. That day, I was in a meeting in my office with Bill until around 1:50 p.m. I was the first one to leave, and that's when I saw that kid running from the property. At the time, I didn't know why he was there, but he must have been there that day to sabotage the brakes. Oh yeah, he confessed to it too, didn't he? But he must have... Oh, hold on. Any ideas, Detective? It's clear they want to pin this crime on Fry, so our angle of attack should be to unravel Annie's trick. Right. It's true Fry was there that day, but Annie must have set this up. That means there's bound to be an issue with her statement. There was something someone said. $145. So she stopped working on the car before that. No, that's not it. Okay, running for the property. I didn't know he was very much. You confessed to it too, didn't? Oh, we actually do know why he's there because the love letter. Actually, Annie, we already know why Fry was at the orphanage that day. Fry got a love letter, supposedly from Meg, who invited him to the orphanage at a very specific time. 1:50 p.m., which would just so happen to be right around when you claimed to have seen him. However, Meg never wrote this letter. It was a fake. Someone else wrote this letter and sent it to Fry. Someone who was familiar with Meg's life. Someone at the orphanage. Why on earth would someone forge a love letter? You're grasping at straws here. Someone wanted to frame Fry. It's obvious that somebody wanted to pin the crime on Fry. Someone who knew they'd see him at that exact time, the only person who could have forged the letter, and the only person who claims to have seen Mr. Noyle fleeing the scene. It was you, Annie Card. You sure do love your wild stories. But it's just that, a story. Don't get me wrong, you've spun quite the narrative. But it's all circumstantial. Do you have anything actually concrete connecting my client to that letter? Ah! She's right, I know Annie wrote that letter, but I have no way of proving it. Unfortunately, the letter was typed, so we can't do a handwriting analysis. You see, Annie, they don't have anything on you. You'll be out of here soon. Besides, my client never went anywhere near the garage that day. That's right, I was in my office the whole day. Bill was there with me, he can attest to it. She's right, we had meetings all day while the kids were at school. And let's start from the beginning. What were the meetings about? Anton Chambers came to visit us in the morning. The three of us spoke about the future of the Klaus orphanage. Anton arrived around 12:30 p.m. and Bill arrived at 1 p.m. To put it simply, he was hoping I would move locations. At the time, I told him that moving was not negotiable. He left right around the same time I did. Move the Klaus orphanage? That was never brought up until now. I should keep that in mind. I can ask him about it later. Let's see. When a specific link to how I press them until it breaks. We know the brakes had to have been tampered with between Meg's break at 1:45 and 2 p.m. This card, please give us your statement as to your whereabouts during that time period. She snuck out the fake back of the magic box to tamper with the brakes, and then snuck back into it. Never left my office until the meeting had ended. Anton and Bill were there as well, so they can confirm that. The meeting itself, all we did was talk business. Nothing unusual happened. You performed a magic trick. Never a moment when those two weren't watching me. I disagree. You performed a magic trick. Alright. There was never a moment when those two weren't watching me. Untrue, you were in a magic cabinet. Damn it. I doubt they spent the whole time staring at you. Maybe you distracted them and slipped out. How long do you think it would take to sneak into the garage and sabotage the brakes on Bill's car? I can guarantee you it would take long enough for someone to notice she was gone. Now, how about you stop wasting our time and move on? She's ruthless today. That's pretty vague. Can you clarify what counts as usual? All we discussed was the future of the orphanage and our partnership. Like I said, we spent the whole time talking. Nothing else noteworthy happened. The meeting itself was not unusual. Wrong. You did a magic trick. Nothing unusual happened? That's weird, because that's not at all what you told us earlier. Earlier today, you told us about your meeting with Bill, and it just so happens you told us about a certain event that happened during it. Namely, you said that you showed off your new magic trick. That doesn't sound like business to me. Well, I always perform magic tricks during my meetings. I just consider that part of business. She wanted to show us a rope trick before our meeting ended. I protested, but Anton was interested. What kind of rope trick? It's pretty simple. A member of the audience would tie my hands with rope. I walk inside a cabinet, and a moment later I walk out with the rope undone. Aha, nobody saw you after you entered the cabinet. You could have snuck out then. You can't be serious. They would have seen her if she just walked out of it. She was in there for a bit, but she was clearly struggling to do her trick. After all, she kind of failed at it. It's true, I couldn't get the rope off, so I had to give up. I still had my hands tied when I came back out. That's what I get for not practicing enough. Wait, what? Bill, is that true? Yeah, I tied her up myself, and Anton confirmed it was tight. When she got out, she still had her hands tied. Anton had cut it to free her. It was pretty tight, too. She had to cut it pretty short. Et voila, your case crumbles once again. For the entire length of the meeting, my client was either watched by two witnesses, or she was inside of a box with her hands tied. So you see, there was no possible way that my client could be guilty. Detective, I demand you release my client immediately. No way, it can't end like this. Hold on, let me check Red's notes. A cabinet, do you mean the one near the door? Yeah, that's the one. It's used for a lot of tricks. I see. In that case, I'd like to hear a little bit more about the trick itself. Is that really necessary? This is my interrogation, and I will conduct it as I see fit. Now, Annie, if you don't mind, I can give you the basic rundown, but remember, a magician never reveals her secrets. As part of my trick, my hands would be bound tightly before I enter the empty box alone. The audience then watches the box closely, which is sealed shut and locked. There's nothing inside of the box and no other means of escape. Wrong. I'll let you finish. But voila! A few minutes later, Maggie Shawn appears, having escaped her bindings. Well, that's what was supposed to happen, but I couldn't get out of the rope. Manny's a culprit. She must have escaped somehow. Detective, you don't think it's possible to teleport, do you? You aren't really considering that, right, Justy? I don't know. How else did she sabotage the brakes? I'm really committed to proving my client guilty, even when all the evidence suggests otherwise. No matter, however you try to weasel and squirm, you cannot change the facts. And the fact is, you're out of luck. I think I want to go back to paperwork now. Nothing inside the box and no other means of escape. Wrong. The box opens in the back. Actually, there was a way you could escape. There's a false panel at the back you could exit through. That's the secret to your little trick. Stop ruining the magic! I'll concede that she had a secret way out of the box, however... Have you forgotten where in the room the cabinet was? It was right up against a wall. Even if she did escape, she'd be stuck. What if the cabinet wasn't flush with the wall at that time? Then how did she leave the room? The only exit is the door where she would have been spotted. Unless you're about to propose she used magic to leave the room as well. Did you, Annie? If you pick a card, I'll tell you. Try, this is going nowhere. That panel is the only way she could have left without being seen. There has to be a way. I just gotta think. They moved the box. What if she had moved the box beforehand? After all, it's been a month. We have no way of knowing it was in the same spot it is now. Bill, do you remember where in the room the cabinet was? Not really. She tends to move her furniture around a lot, so it's hard to keep up. Then Justina could have a point. We just have to show an area where she could have put the box that would allow her to leave unseen. The cabinet could have been. It must be in front of the fucking door. Oh, it could be in front of the window. There's exactly one spot the cabinet could have been that would allow Annie to enter and exit the room unseen. That place is the window. Think about it. The cabinet would have blocked their view. She could slip out of the back of the cabinet, through the window, and to the garage. Then, when she was done, she simply snuck back in and pretended like her trick failed. Even if the cabinet was placed in front of the window, how do you explain the rope around her hands? She couldn't just open it and jump out while tied up. It's obvious, isn't it? She really was able to untie her bindings. Her trick worked, just not in the way anyone expected. Annie, tell them how your trick really works. I can't do that. A magician never reveals... How do you escape the bindings? I'm supposed to have someone purposely tie the rope in such a way I could slip my hands out. I thought I was good enough to get out of the rope anyways, but I failed. And there you go. While it is possible for her to escape the bindings, she could only do so if Bill had purposefully tied the rope in a way that enabled it. Bill, did you do such a thing? No. There you have it. Unless you want to claim the box has a hidden blade inside, Annie couldn't untie herself. Right, she's gonna fight me tooth and nail on every single detail of this. If that's the case, let's hear Annie's statement on the matter. You really don't know when to give up, do you? I didn't come this far just to give up when we are so close. If this case is dead in the water, I want to sink with it. If the detective is up for it, so am I. Go ahead, then. Waste our time even more. You're supposed to help me. Don't encourage them. Let them flounder. They can't prove any of this. Fine, but this is the last time. Annie Card's statement, the final act, Maggie Sean's impossible escape. There's no way I could have escaped that rope alone. Bill would have had to tie it in just the right way, and Anton would have had to not noticed. The only way out of the rope at that point would be cutting it. But even if I did cut the rope, it would be too short for me to tie my hands again. It's not like there was an extra rope lying around for me to use. Oh? Oh, wasn't there now? Actually, Annie, there was extra rope lying around. Meg keeps a box of rope in the garage. Which just so happens to be the place you were going to anyways. This is ridiculous. How can you prove any of that? You know, something was bothering me since I found that box. It was full of short pieces of frayed, tangled rope. They would have been completely useless. The way the rope looked, it was almost as if it came from someone cutting up knotted rope. It doesn't prove anything. The rope could have come from anywhere. Hang on, I'm not done. Meg also said something else that was interesting. There was supposed to be a long spool of rope inside, but when we looked, it was missing. Almost as if someone took it. And I know exactly who that person was. And how do you explain how Annie got the rope off in the first place? As we already explained, it was impossible for her to untie herself. It all comes down to this. Final piece of the puzzle. How did Annie escape the bindings? The question I should be asking is, when did Annie escape the bindings? Bindings while she was in the box, before she entered the box, in the box, or after she got out of the box. Let's see, what could she have used to break it? None of this seems terribly helpful, if I'm being honest. Without anyone noticing unless someone in the room helped her. If she escaped while inside the box, she needed some way to cut herself loose. Which doesn't mean there's something sharp enough to cut rope. If she escaped the fog first, I'd have to explain how she was able to exit it with her hands tied. I also need to show a way she could have freed herself while outside. I'm assuming it was while she was in the box, but I don't know what she would have used. Had to cut the rope with a knife, I assume. The window is not... like, there's nothing sharp around here. So I think she must have had to do it. No, I don't think that's right. I need to think. There's got to be an answer. Let me try again. Bindings before she entered the box? No, unless Anton was in on it. Which I don't think he is, because we don't have anything about him. So it would have been while it would have had to have been while she was in the box, but I don't know what she used to break them. Well, she left the ripped up box in the rope box. Okay, that's not it. All we know about it is that there's wheels that can let it move. What could she have used? I don't have any sharp things. It's not the car. What the fuck do I use here? Like, I'm genuinely not sure. It's gotta be the cabinet? Was there a part of the window? Everything is like everything is crossed off at this point. Oh, Annie's bindings is uncrossed. There we go. Anton was the last person to check Annie's bindings before she entered the box. He also had a knife on him, as we established. Meaning, he cut the rope before Annie entered the box. Anton? What are you... That doesn't... It's obvious the two of them were working together. That's ridiculous. You can't prove any of this. We can certainly pay Anton a visit and see what he tells us. We only need one of you to talk. So how much do you trust him to keep his mouth shut? Detective, I don't understand. Why would Annie attack me? She has no reason to. Actually, Bill, I know exactly why. As much as I hate to admit it, I think she wanted to scare you. She wanted you to move the orphanage to a new location, so she set up this plan with Anton to make it happen. After all, Anton was pretty interested in buying it. The motel isn't what matters, it's the land it sits on. Situated on property gold mine. That land could be put to much better use. The whole area ought to be transformed into new luxury townhouses and condos. A plethora of Azure City's finest would love nothing more than to settle with their families right next to Whitehall. That's not... If I wanted him out so badly, why didn't I just evict him? I am his landlord, after all. Come on, we both know that wasn't possible, and this explains why. The lease says he can only be evicted for unpaid rent. Your contract was ironclad. There was no way they could force you to leave. You'd have to do so willingly. So their plan was either to scare you into leaving or kill you. What? Ready to talk yet, Annie? Or should we go pay Anton a visit now? If you talk first, it will make your life a whole lot easier. Uh-oh. A good performer knows when to throw in the cards. Fine, I confess. Annie, why? I don't understand. We worked together for 5 years. You helped raise the kids as your own. If you decided to move out, I would have done everything to help. But you wouldn't do it. You're too stubborn for it. I didn't have another choice. I thought if I scared you and the kids, you'd leave. What better way to do so than to have you get hurt? And the funny thing is, it worked. It worked? After the car accident, the kids were scared, so I agreed to the move. I thought Meg caused it, so I played along with their story to keep her safe. I knew for a long time that a motel was no place to raise children. A more conventional home would be better, and that was the straw to break my back. So I agreed to move further away on the condition that the students could at least finish their semester in May. I see. So then why did you want him to move? When I first inherited the motel, I had a few offers to buy it, but then what? Live off that money for a few years, then go have a real job? At the time, I had no goal, no motivation. Bill offered something no one else could, a chance to do something good. So I took it. I figured that even if I died, at least I helped some kids have a better life. And I discovered stage magic. I had something I was not only good at, but something I wanted to do. But then I was trapped in a place I could no longer sell when I needed money more than ever to perform my magic around the world. That's when Anton came to me and offered me a way out. He gave me the deal of a lifetime. He'd buy the property for enough money that I could finally pursue my dream. All I had to do was get Bill to sell. We did not agree to any of that. If Anton agreed to buy it, he was going around us completely. He can't make promises like that without informing me. He said it was prime real estate, we just needed Bill gone. Do you have any idea what the hell you two are doing? If the public finds out about this, it would ruin Eubank investments. How is that what she's worried about most? Bill could have died. Why didn't you tell me what was going on? There had to be a better way. If I could have paid the same amount, I would have sold you the whole place. But you couldn't. I had no choice. I can't believe this, Annie. What are the kids going to think? Can you really look Meg in the eyes and tell her that your career was worth more than my life? I took the calculated risk that you'd be driving too slow for it to be dangerous. His life isn't a calculated risk. To think I defended you. I believed in you. You know something, Ferris? I never liked you. You act all high and mighty like everything in life is fair. But if you stopped working right now, where would you be? Living it up in a mansion, doing whatever you want. If I had your money, I could be free to live my life however I want. And would it be worth it, knowing that it comes at the cost of those kids' homes? Bill would have found another place. I was done worrying about other people for a change. I think we heard enough. Let's finish this case up. Damn. After we finalized her confession, Annie was taken away. Ferris left without another word. She looked even angrier than usual. April 24th, 8:12 p.m. Damn, it's been a long day. Justy, we did it! We really did it! Come here! Ah! Aw, that's adorable. That's a thumbnail. Is this a hug or is she trying to kill me? We did it! We solved the case! You did it! I'm so proud of you! Light fading, lungs failing. You okay over there, Miss Assistant? You're turning pretty red. Can't breathe. Help. Sorry, I guess I went a little overboard. More than a little. Wanted to be the first to say, great work, both of you. You solved 2 cases in a single day. Pretty impressed with how you two did in there. You make for a great team. Think I may have to give you my assistant, Sophie. Haha. I think I'm just about ready to be a clerk again. I don't think I can keep doing this. But you're really good at this. You can't stop now. Hey, why don't we go tape Zephyr for a victory lap after this? We can celebrate properly then. Please not Zephyr again. I can't believe it. Annie, she could have killed me. And all over the orphanage, no less. Was everything a lie? Did the orphanage just mean nothing to her? I think she would throw it all away. Come on, Bill, you know that isn't true. Actually, I know for a fact it isn't true. I can prove it. Here's the proof that Annie really did care about the orphanage's residents. If it wasn't for Annie, Meg would never have found her true passion in life. She taught Meg everything she knew about working with machinery. Plus, she helped Meg completely rebuild a car. I don't believe that was all for nothing. I think she really did value the orphanage, and you too. I just think she felt stuck, and that made her desperate. Thank you. Justina, was it? I'm sorry for causing you all so much trouble. And Ernest, I'll talk to you later, Bill. I have a lot to say to you in private. Anyways, what are you doing here still, Detective? I thought you'd be home by now. Detective never rests until his work is done. Besides, there's one more thing we need to take care of. Why don't you go wait inside? I'll be right back. Any idea what's going on? Only one way to find out. What's this about? Well, you two are the ones who kickstarted this sprawling affair, so we wanted to give you a little update. We solved the embezzlement case. One explanation later. Wow! So the Eubanks didn't take the money. I guess I may have jumped the gun. Cheer up, Chandra. It's thanks to us the orphanage is getting all its money. Hey, don't be too proud of yourselves. You still committed a crime. So what now? I can certainly put in a good word with the prosecutor. Short-sighted as your robbery was, it did help us uncover the real crime. Only I hadn't been caught. Just accept it, Anna. We lost. But thanks for trying to cover for me. Anytime, partner. Next time I'll take the truth to my grave. Please don't. You gave me enough of a headache last time. Afterwards, Sophie and I went out to celebrate our victory. And as expected, I got completely swamped in paperwork the next day. Sue said I had to do double the work to make up for my little adventure. I told her I was finally ready to retire from my detective work, and then a new case popped up and I was called upon once again. So much for retirement. End of case 3. It's only 2 more. Case 4, deceit and perjury. May 1st, unknown. This is Detective Ernest Hunt's office. I'm away from the office. Please leave a message. Hello, my daughter gave me your number. I would like to report a murder. Hey, for 7:58 a.m. Majesty. I'm so tired. I stayed up way too late last night. I know how I love a job where I didn't have to be up so early. It's been about a week since I last got to play detective. In the end, we had a lot of trouble building a solid case against Anton. Detective Hunt refuses to give up, though, and he's devoted himself to investigating everything he can about the man. I barely even seen him over the last week, but for all his effort, he's got Anton Chambers to come in for questioning today. As for me, pretty things have pretty much returned to normal. I can expect another long, boring day of paperwork. Hey, first 8 a.m. Azure City Police Station. Good morning, Miss Earl. I'm ready for work. Justina, what are you doing here? Should I not be here? Don't tell me I got fired already. You're supposed to be at the crime scene right now. Did Ernest not call you? Crime scene? What crime scene? What's going on? Oh, Ernest. You see, there's been an incident. You remember Anton Chambers, right? Of course I do. Detective Hunt has been investigating him. Why? Mr. Chambers was murdered last night. He was found dead this morning. What? I mean, I know he wasn't the nicest guy or anything, but murdered? I just got the call this morning. He was found in an alleyway outside of Nickel and Diamond's Antiques in the Sunrise District. Hang on, that's my dad's store. Seems like you're starting to understand. You'd better hurry, Justina. I'm afraid your dad is one of the suspects in this case. Oh, gods, no, no, no. I've got to hurry. May 1st, 8:13 a.m., Azure City, Sunrise District, Nickel and Diamond's Antiques. Dad, where are you? Justina? Dad, are you okay? Never mind that. What are you doing here? This is my dad, Ash Smith, owner of the Nickel and Diamond's Antiques. He's a professional glassblower, and this quaint store is his pride and joy. He's been running it ever since I was a kid. He's a little eccentric and maybe a bit clumsy, but he's totally harmless. He wouldn't even so much as kill a fly. I think there'd be a murder here of all places, and then my dad would be wrapped up in it. Gods, please tell me this is all just a bad dream. Justy, you finally showed up. Sophie, what happened here? Please don't tell me you actually consider my dad a suspect. Whoa, slow down, Justy. Let's take this one step at a time. We've just begun our investigation, so I can't really say anything for certain right now. Don't go worrying about me, Justina. This detective has been treating me fairly. Oh, but all these police running around, on the other hand, they've already knocked over one of my plants. Dad, I really think we have bigger things to worry about right now. Sophie, let me join you for this investigation, please. I'll help you find the evidence that proves my dad's innocence. Wouldn't have it any other way, partner. Let me just give you the rundown on what we know so far. Our victim is Anton Chambers, the president of Eubank Investments. He was found dead this morning in an alleyway behind Nickel and Diamond's Antiques. He'd been here last night for a business meeting, and that was the last time he was seen. Our preliminary findings indicate that he died last night and that his body had been left in the alleyway until its discovery. He was shot twice, right? Once in his right abdominal region and once in the chest. There are also 2 puncture wounds found on his chest. We believe the shot to the chest was the cause of death. Finally, his wallet was missing from his body, leading us to suspect this may have been a robbery. What about the murder weapon? Were you able to find it? Not yet. The culprit must have taken it with them. We only have preliminary findings right now, so we don't even know what model of gun it was. We just sent his body to the coroner, so we can expect a more detailed autopsy report then. They'll be able to run tests on the bullets after they remove them from— That's okay, spare me the details, please. Well, you can learn more about it when you read the report. Look at you, Justina. I finally get to see your police work in action. Or should I say Officer Smith? Ha ha! I keep telling you, Dad, I'm not a cop. I just help out in the investigations. Which admittedly is pretty strange. Moving along, could you tell me about what happened? Sure can. Let me start from the beginning. Last night, Luna Hart, the owner of this building, held a meeting here to decide who would be buying the property. You know me, I'm no good at all that stuff, so I finished cleaning up the store and left. I gave my keys to Luna so she could lock up the store afterwards. When we opened the store this morning, I hadn't noticed anything unusual, but when I went into the alleyway to throw away some trash, that's when I saw a body. I got closer and I saw Anton. He was face up in the middle of the alleyway. I knew it was him because I saw him come into the store last night. Well, I called the police right after that, and you know the rest. When I gave you Detective Hunt's number, I didn't expect you to use it so soon. You told me you trusted him, so I thought it was best to reach him. But to my surprise, Sophie here was the one who showed up. That's because Red works in robberies. I'm the homicide detective. Back on topic, you mentioned Mr. Chambers by name. Do you know him? I've known him for years, or at least known of him. We only spoke directly for the first time last night. Why's that? Anton was looking to buy back the store. He and another fellow came here last night to try and buy the store from Luna. The meeting had ended around 7 p.m., but I left shortly afterwards. I worried that something must have happened to him right after we left. We can't rule that out yet. We still have some investigating to do. But for now, you were the last to see him before he died. Is Detective Hunt around? Sue told me he tried to call me. I think this is best discussed elsewhere. There's a park nearby. Let's head there once we're done here. All right. Do you not want to say anything with my dad here? Okay, partner, let's get started. Say, Mr. Smith, what can you tell me about yourself? Oh, I'm nothing special, Miss Detective. I'm just a humble glassblower. Pretty great one if you ask me. All the glassware here is made by him. It's the store's specialty. I take a lot of pride in my pieces, but I won't be selling them for much longer now. Huh? Why is that? Well, because the store's been sold, of course, but I also feel like it's time for me to hang my pipe up, so to speak. Besides, that just means I have more time to devote to all my lovely plants. My dad's been absolutely obsessed with plants recently, ever since he started his own garden last spring. Now he's constantly trying to push them onto me. I keep telling you, Justina, if you just started your own veggie garden, you'd save a lot of money on food. And I keep telling you, Dad, I don't have room for that in my apartment. Besides, I just end up killing them all anyways. Come on, Justy, it can't be that hard to keep a plant alive. As if, plants are very fickle creatures. Justina is just upset that over time she killed her class plant in 2nd grade. She was so excited when the teacher put her in charge of it, that poor plant was dead within a week. Hey, it was very traumatic, you know. It wasn't my fault either. How was I supposed to know you could give a plant too much water? It was so long ago, though. I'm sure you could do a better job now. I have enough plant blood on my hands in this lifetime. I'll pass. I wanted to ask more about the meeting last night. Can you tell me who was all there? Well, I don't really recall. I didn't stay for the meeting. I remember seeing Anton, though. He had a real mean look to him. You have any idea why Anton might have been interested in buying this property? Well, aside from the fact that his company used to own it, no. Hang on, Eubank Investments used to own this building? Yep, Luna's dad bought it from them 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you say? That's around the time Eubank Investments was founded, wasn't it? Sure is. The whole area was how the company got their start. Back then, the Sunrise District was nothing like it is now. This used to be a quieter residential area. Eventually, though, the city decided the land was more valuable than the people were. That's where the Eubanks come in. They offered to transform the area into a commercial district in exchange for city funding. Soulheart struck a deal with them to purchase this building. Thanks to that, my dad was able to finally open this store. Unfortunately, not everyone here was so lucky. New development meant higher prices. A few got bought out, but a fair number of people were forced out by the costs. Ah. The old Sunrise District only lives on in people's memories now. I had no idea there was so much history here. It's still got a lot of charm to it. Once this case is done, I'll take you to see all the cool spots. Curious as to why Luna owns this store and not yourself. Well, that's because she inherited it from her dad, Soulheart. Soul and I go way back. I was the one who told them I wanted to open my own glass store. Trouble is, I was never any good at all that business stuff. And, well, I can't say I ever had the money to buy property for myself. That's when Soul and I agreed to go into business together. He'd buy the property, and I'd handle the operations. That way, all I had to do was make the glass. Of course, once Soul died, I was struggling to run the store all by myself, so I had to get a manager to help me. Unfortunately, she left last month. Why'd she leave? I'll give you a hint. She just started a new job at the local police precinct. Justy, I had no idea you ran a store. Well, the best I could, at least. Justina was ruthless. She'd fight tooth and nail during business meetings. She even scared away a couple suppliers. Huh. They were trying to scam you. If it hadn't been for me, you'd have been paying triple the price for materials. People were constantly trying to swindle my dad. Customers tried to take advantage of him all the time. Must have been where you learned your interrogation skills from. Sounds like you were pretty good at your job, though. Why'd you stop? Well, it wasn't really for me. Not to mention I was kind of doing it for free. Dad couldn't really afford to pay me for it. Dad's ready to retire, and once Luna decided she wanted to sell the building, there wasn't much point in me sticking around. Plus, I felt like it was time for me to move on. I wanted to find my own way in life. You really love your family, huh? Of course I do. I'd do anything for them. This place was my whole childhood. I couldn't just see it fall apart. Well, I'm glad we have you at the precinct now. Speaking of family, Mom and Jean must be worried sick. I'll call them to let you know you're okay. Don't worry, Justina. The detective let me call them this morning. Why didn't you call me then? Well, I knew you'd be here sooner or later. She told me you'd be coming. Well, I wasn't wrong. Still, I thought Red was going to call you. So, who's this Jean you've been keeping a secret from me? She's no secret. She's just my younger sister. I didn't know you had a sister. Why am I just now learning that? Those two don't really get along. When they were younger, Justina tried to throw Jean's favorite doll into the glass furnace. They've been butting heads ever since. Justy, I was just a kid. She's the one who's still holding the grudge. You can at least show a bit of remorse. Hold on, what's around? Never seen a camera like that. It's the best on the market. She has all the recordings from last night? Well, yeah, but this is the only camera we got. We could only afford one. So I doubt it can tell us about the murder. Still, it can't hurt to keep it in mind. Bunui! Wow, these animals are so pretty. I love these little rabbits especially. Say, I'm glad you noticed that, Detective. Do you want to know how you make a glass rabbit hole? Dad, you just glue it back together. Oh, alright. Dad, stop it. You're embarrassing me. Oh, sorry. I couldn't resist. He's always like this, I swear. Every time I come here, his puns get worse. When you're a parent like me, you'll understand. What's this thing here? Some sort of metal detector? That was one of Soul's ideas. He said it wasn't some ordinary metal detector. It instead had some kind of fancy computer brain in it. It's called AI, Dad. Same difference. He said it scans for weapons that pass between it and alerts if it finds anything. Supposed to store a log for the police to look at, too. Are we sure that thing even works? I've never once heard it go off. It always just felt to me like it was just there to look intimidating. Well, I thought so too, but I do remember hearing it go off last night. Of course, that was probably from Anton. He had a gun with him, but Luna didn't seem to care. You know, if we'd be able to take a look at those logs? Talk to Luna. I'm sure she could get it for you. Better write this down for later. Well, the plants here, the glass animals must have their own jungle. It was my idea. If Dad wanted to start growing plants, he might as well make it a theme. This whole store would look so much better without all these plants covering the merchandise. I can see it. So clean. So easy to organize. If only my dad just didn't have these plants. Justy, you alive in there? Huh? Sorry, I was just daydreaming of a better life. You can daydream later. We have a case to solve. You're right. That's a timeline I'll never see. Soil. Dad, why is your soil on the floor? It's a lawsuit waiting to happen if somebody slips on it. Give your old man the benefit of the doubt. I didn't do it. You didn't? Then why is it here? It was here when I got here. I was going to clean up, but with Anton's death, I haven't had time. Seems there's some clay shards here, too, like one of the plants fell. Just where did they come from? Better take a note so I can clean it later. I think that wraps up things here. Let's go to the park. May 1st, Azure City Sunrise District Park. Hey, get out of here. Stop contaminating my crime scene. Shoo. Looks like Detective Hunt is here, chasing birds away. Ahem. Ah, there you two are. Welcome to my little domain. Hey, Red. Justy finally joined us. What's going on? Why did we have to come here to talk? Since last week, I've been looking into Anton Chambers in preparation for interrogating him today. I think I have something that might help you two, but you have to keep it to yourselves. That's why we can't tell anyone, not even your dad. You're joking, right? My dad's completely trustworthy. My gut is telling me it's fine, but it's Red's case, so I play by his rules. If he wants to keep it secret, I'll keep it to myself. I knew you would understand. Let me catch you two up on what I learned. Anton Chambers has been using kind words to convince property owners to sell the Eubank investments. I was able to get a list of code names of those whom he convinced to sell. While I was able to figure out most, there was a code name I couldn't figure out. The code name was Big Hen, and it's related to Nickel and Diamond's antiques. But so far, I haven't found the connecting thread between the two. Where did you get a list of code names? I know a guy. Freddy has a way of getting information. Maybe if you become a real detective, I'll teach you the tricks of the trade. Between this and figuring out Hannah's bank account had the money, he certainly knows more than he lets on. Back to the case at hand, what the heck does Big Head mean? Don't look at me, I gave blood, sweat, and tears just to get this far. When I found out he was buying the store, I thought the two might be connected. Did he win the bid for the store? Come to think of it, I never did ask. If he did, then maybe it was a code for Luna. Luna does own the store, so maybe. Have you spoken to her yet? I haven't gotten a chance to speak with Luna yet. Let's go talk with her. Right, you'll probably want me there for that anyways. Huh? Why's that? Luna's deaf, so you'll need me to interpret for you. Just talk normally and I'll translate. She carries a book with her, so she'll probably just write down her responses for you. I've never met a deaf person before, but that sounds simple enough. Before we do that, why is there crime tape around the tree? Sophie, did you not tell her? Sorry, Red, must have slipped my mind. After I got the call, I wanted to check on the park. It was across the street and would be the perfect escape route. That's when I found Anton's wallet and gun here. Looks like whoever killed them took them and dumped them here. Huh? Why would anyone do that? When a robber steals a wallet, they don't just grab the money, they take the full wallet. Then when they are safe, like in this park, they take what they want and dump the rest. As for the gun, we haven't figured that out yet. Was there anything left in his wallet? Just a parking ticket for Eubank Investments. All his money was gone. Not much to go on, but I better update the evidence anyway. What about his gun? Completely empty, but we know it's from its design. It's his from its design. He was pretty famous for having it. I already sent it in for testing, so until then we don't have much to share. Now you're caught up to speed on everything. When you are ready, we can head back to the store. Alright, I am getting a massive headache, so I think we can probably pause here. Let me remember how to save. But hey, we got through the rest of that case 3. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. I'm dying. And I'll catch you tomorrow for maybe Ace Attorney? Probably Ace Attorney. We'll see. We're going out tomorrow night, and we might not be home in time, so if it's not Ace Attorney, I'll do something. Yeah, have a good night. Bye-bye.